Hello and welcome back to Jimbo's PC Builds. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video. Over a series of videos, maybe 2 or 3, I'm not too sure yet, I'm going to be doing an upgrade of my current main machine and I'm going to go for my first ever custom water-cooled loop. Now I took the choice to go with soft tubing instead of hard tubing, purely because you know, this being my first attempt, I was a little bit nervous about going with hard tubing, and once I've done a soft tubing run I may change and go over to hard fittings at some point, but for now I'm going to go with soft tubing. So in this first video, first of all I'm going to start with giving you a rundown of all the parts that I'm going to do, and then I may include, because I'm going to have to, you know, put the some of the parts in to check out whether things are going to fit, stuff like that. Then may I do another video when I'm going to install the GPU block on the GPU, and then I'll do like you know, final installation of fittings and all the tubing and stuff like that, and you know, leak testing, and then coming up with a final result. So it might be 2 or 3. I'm not too sure I'm going to split it up yet. It might be more, depending on timing, how I can get things done, all that kind of good stuff. Without further ado, let's have a look at all the custom water cooling parts that I've bought, which I'm going to be putting into the machine, and what upgrades, if any, I'm going to be doing to my main machine as well. So first of all, let's cover the upgrades. I'm going to be upgrading the CPU. I'm going to be going for a Core i9 12900K, and I'm going to be going for a Gigabyte Z690 ROG DDR4 motherboard. So I'm going to stick with the DDR4 memory that I have. I'm not going to upgrade to DDR5 purely because it's too expensive. The motherboard and CPU on their own are enough money. I'm not going to spend the extra money for the DDR5 for the sake of not very much performance, so that's my choice. But you know, you guys beg to differ. If you do think something different or you agree, please throw your comments down below. Okay, so let's now get on to the cooling parts. Now, I've gone for a 360 rad and a 240 rad. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, whether I'm going to put a 360 at the top and a 240 at the front. I'm leaning towards putting a 360 in the front purely because if I put the 360 on top, the 3 fans on the top will be on exhaust, as will the one on the back, so I'll have a negative airflow situation, which I'd want to really avoid. So if I can put the 360 at the front, that will offset, because then we'll have 3 intake and 3 outtake. The one slight problem with that is I'm not sure if the 360 rad is going to fit at the front. I may have to do something like put the rad inside and put the fans inside the front of the case, because I'm going to have to also install the XD5 Corsair Hydro Series pump res combo. So that's the one I've gone for. It's a fairly common one. It's not too expensive, but I've seen a lot of good reviews about it, so I decided to make this choice. And it comes with mounting brackets to mount to the back of radiators, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm planning to mount it to the back of the radiator. So let's go through the rest. So you got the 360 and the 240 red. Okay. The next thing I've gone for is I managed to pick up one of the Jace 2 Sense CPU blocks. So I've got that, so I'm going to be putting that on. I'm probably going to put that on very, very soon. I don't know if you can see in the back, I've actually tested putting the motherboard and CPU in the case already, but I'm going to have to take that back out, and I'm going to put the block on it, I'm going to put the memory in, and I'm going to put the NVMe drive in. So they're the first parts of the build I'm going to do before I really start doing any water cooling. But yeah, I got that water block, which is really cool. The next part, which I'm not going to take out because it's actually quite heavy, is the GPU block for my EVGA RTX 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra. This is a bits power block. There is an EK one which I was looking at as well, but I managed to pick up this locally at Microcenter, so that's why I made that choice. The first thing I actually picked up was the tubing, which I went for black 10mm tubing. It's 10mm inside, 13mm outside. So that was very crucial, because then when it came to shopping for fittings, etc., I needed to make sure that they go with that. The other thing I've got here is a Cable Mod vertical mounting kit for my GPU. There is GPU slots in the case, but they're far too close to the glass, so we'll have a situation where I won't be able to get the fittings and the tubes to the GPU without crushing them against the glass. So I'm going to put this bracket in. It's a PCI 4 edition of their bracket, so I'm going to be able to put that in, and I'm going to mount the GPU horizontally, which you pretty much have to do when you're doing liquid cooled anyway. Okay, so that's all the parts I'm going to bin. The last thing I got was these. I got 12 of these, and they are compression fittings, which they're the type that you need for soft tubing. Hardline, you go with different ones, but these are compression fittings which you need for soft tubing. I made sure I got these are the 10 to 13 ones, so the 10 inside, 13 outside. So I've taken a couple out, had a look at them. I've got some worries at this point that I might need some 90-degree fittings and adapters in the build, but we'll wait and see. Alright, so I'm going to actually end the video at this point. So I've gone through all the parts that I'm going to go through. So in the next video, I'm probably going to do installation of the block, etc, etc, and also putting the GPU block on the GPU. So that'll probably be the next video. Then the one after that will be putting fittings in, running tubes, and see how we get. And then I might need to do a final one, which is putting adapters in and then doing leak testing, everything else. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, so that's kind of like the first kind of, I would say, vlog of the build. I'm going to be doing them sporadically when I've got time to work on the build, but that was the first one. Let me know what you think of the parts. I've never bought liquid cooling parts before, so I'm a fair novice at it, so I'll be interested in feedback in terms of if you've done a liquid cool build, if you've hit any problems with any of the parts that I've already bought, if you've got any comments on whether you think I'll need 90-degree fittings or not, or 45-degree fittings even. Please let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, can't wait to get it started, because at the moment I'm running on a substitute build, which is not as good obviously as this, so I want to get this up and running and get it done as soon as possible. Yeah, but that's it. Please, if you did like this video, toss a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe, because as always I'm trying to get to the elusive 1,000 subscribers. As I've mentioned a couple of times, if you've got any comments on any of the parts, please toss them down below. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I do the future videos for this build. And as always, take care.